Okay, Geminis, everything that you want is coming. First, we need to put ourselves in a better environment to maybe either receive it or receive it in greater timing or with more pleasure this Taurus season. Because remember, after Taurus comes Gemini. You're approaching your birthday, your solar return. We are in eclipse season. There's a lot going on. As soon as I closed my eyes and was shuffling these cards, it was like this huge, like blaring. It's kind of like when it's a fire alarm or this noise or this racket, and you're just like, why do I have to keep hearing this? Whether it's someone complain or annoying news articles or just like the same old noise. It's like you don't have to keep being in the receptive energy of this. Like we just need to move where we currently are, or maybe muting some people or blocking some people. It's like you're annoyed right now, or it seems like it, or there's something that you don't like hearing. And so this came through later in the channel, but in terms of utilizing your voice and exactly saying what it is that you either want or do not want with certain parties is going to be of huge benefit. And remember, there's going to be a lot of transits that are moving in Gemini's favor. Mercury will move into Gemini at the end of April. Yes, it will go retrograde around May 10th. However, I think that can also be an opportunity to reevaluate how we're using our voice and our thoughts in our favor. Secondly, we have so much that's going on currently in Pisces. So we have Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Neptune, all in Pisces. Venus will move into Aries at the end of April, and Jupiter will move into Aries on May 10th. Both of these are going to be very beneficial for Geminis because Gemini and Aries, they make sextile aspects, which are complementary and very nice. I do think that there are certain people maybe blowing up your phone, whether it's old acquaintances, lovers, friends, colleagues that you just don't want to hang out with. You're like, maybe in your head, like, please stop bothering me, or like, I don't want to talk to you, but they don't know that. And so maybe you just have to be candid and upfront, being like, I do not have time, or you are not a priority, or I do not want to have sex with you, or whatever it may be. Because like that seems to be an energy where it's like you don't want to put yourself in this sound or this noise that's not serving you anymore. Okay? So if you're hoping it'll just go away on its own, you might just have to be the communicator of the zodiac, which you are, Geminis. Use your voice to your benefit, okay? Good. And you can be as straightforward or not as you wish. You can be just kind of like charming and gregarious, or you can be blunt and forward, however you feel. But remember, with all that Pisces energy, it makes a square to your Gemini placement. So it could also just be coming from within. That's kind of what I asked in the channel. Like, is it self-imposed or kind of like self-sabotaging, where it's like, we're just getting in our heads and we're the ones creating all the noise, and actually nothing is wrong and everyone loves us and wants to praise us, and we're just kind of working against ourselves of like, what if, are they trying to take advantage of me, or what of this? So it could be a bit of both, or it could be predominantly one or the other. I think you'll know, but I think just quieting the noise through grounding, meditation, mindfulness, whatever that you need will help, okay? Also with Geminis, it's always like a tongue or an energy, but I saw like the tongue kind of like moving around the teeth. I'm not sure if some of you are like wanting to say something or wanting to like profess your love or to be vulnerable in that sense, but it's almost like something is on the lips, something is on the teeth, where you want to express something. So if that's something, even if it could just be self-love to yourself, that could be something that you are mindful of, or careful what goes in your mouth, certain serpent-like things. I do think in terms of certain lovers that are just like not aligned anymore, you're like, this was fun, but not anymore. Just be mindful of that, okay? Because once all that energy goes into Aries, I think there's going to be more opportunity for fun and pleasure and excitement. But first, we have to just make it very clear on what is aligned and what is not. And also too, if some of you are thinking about travel or wanting to get away for a little bit, you're like, I just need to get away from these people, this environment, this job, whatever that may be. I saw like a seagull in the channel, and it was like, I just can't wait to go to this destination, or planning a trip perhaps for your birthday. If that's something that's been on your mind, I would definitely hop on that wavelength and see where it takes you, okay? Beautiful. So the first three cards that I pulled, Geminis, are all swords, all air energy. We have the King of Swords, the Knight of Swords, and then the 10 of Swords. So for me, this is kind of like, okay, we're probably going to be running straight into the eclipses thinking one thing, oh, and look at this. I just kind of noticed. In the King of Swords, we have these little birds, or like seagulls. So I think that could also be a vibe of like, I've amassed this power, this opportunity, this wisdom, this level in my business, whatever it is. I kind of want to go somewhere or take flight or take action. And this can also be too careful of just going in head first into something, because there might be something that we're not looking, or that we're moving from a place of trauma or unaligned action. It could also mean that where you're going, it's like you just need to kind of get there hard and fast and maybe rip the Band-Aid off. And part of me thinks, Gemini, is like using your voice and communicating all this air energy. It's like, to maintain the level of power, don't be afraid to go through an ego death or going through those situations that maybe are unpleasant, especially if you're a Gemini watching this that has prominent fixed energy in your chart, Taurus, Scorpio, Aquarius, Leo. The eclipses are going to be very intense for everyone, but especially for those of you that have fixed energy. So that could also be something as well, and that you know that a certain power or a position or advancement is coming, and you can feel that it's coming, but you're like, oh, I need to do this first, and that's going to elevate me even further. But there does seem to be, even in this reading, the notion of loss or release or recalibrating yourself into what feels good. So for some of you, might be like sitting pretty at the start of this season, being like, I'm comfortable, I know what I'm doing, but I know there's something more, and I want to move on, and I want to move either away from this noise or moving away from what doesn't feel comfortable. But you can't avoid what's coming through in terms of the death and rebirth, or letting go of people that are no longer serving you, or just recalibrating what the next phase is going to look like and feel like, okay? The next three cards that I pulled, we have the Four of Swords, the Four of Cups, and the Five of Cups. So for me, again, with the King and the Knight of Swords, it's like, I want to go, go, go. I'm feeling good, thriving, happy. But the universe is like, we can't keep going until we do some healing first. I don't think you're going to be able to avoid this, Gemini, in some way, shape, or form. Especially with the Four of Swords and the Four of Cups. Like, okay, we need to reevaluate some things. We need to see what no longer feels good. Or there might even just be this sense of, I've gotten to this level, I have everything that I want, or I'm assuming more power. But is it actually what I want? Now that I've created this castle and this huge foundation, is this actually what I want? Or is there something else that I desire? And that could also be kind of with this Ten of Swords of like an ego death of, I've worked so hard and I've gotten to this position of power, but is it that I want? Or maybe mourning the loss of something where you've now reached a new level, a new belief, a new mindset, and there are certain people that you've had to let go of that you thought you were over, and sometimes easier said than done. It's like, goodbye, burn this bridge, but there's still some healing that needs to be taking place of like, oh, actually, I do actually have a lot of emotions or a lot of feelings around this. Remember, all that Pisces energy takes us to those depths of our emotion, allows for some healing to take place. Or some of you might just be exhausted. You're like, I've been going and going and going and going and going for however long. I just need a break. I just need the noise to stop from everyone wanting my attention, or for me having to show up or be the comedian, the communicator, the connector, the liaison, doing everything for everyone. I just need a moment to recalibrate, do some work on myself first, so that I can show up in this power, in this benevolence, to serve and to grow. And that'll even be too, kind of looking at these cards, like you're starting off very strong, hit the ground running. But there's just an opportunity to slow down a little bit. And it kind of, for me, like all of these cards in tandem, Ten of Swords, Four of Swords, Four of Cups, Five of Cups, it kind of like, for me, emulates the Tower of you can do it the easy way or the hard way. You can allow yourself the grace and the time to slow down and to reevaluate, or something may even happen where it's like, oh, now I have sustained an injury, or now I have literally burned myself out, that I have to take this time to reevaluate my actions or what I did or did not do, so that I can even just function at a normal level. So lots on the go, lots on the move, lots of thought, lots of energy, lots of opportunity, but don't shy away from the healing work. That is probably going to present itself either way. So you can either present yourself and have some autonomy and control over the situation, or the universe is going to do it for you. And I kind of like joked a little bit where there might be certain friends or lovers that are kind of vying for your attention. It might be more sensitive than that, where you actually have to give it some time and consideration, being like, no, like these people are just no longer aligned. And I thought it could be easier, that I could just not deal with it. But this is a time with that emotional side of things, with all the Pisces energy, making those squares to your Gemini placements, where I don't think you can avoid this any longer, that you're gonna have to sit with this, whether it's internal with yourself or external or both, that what you've been dealing with on an internal level is now manifesting. You have to deal with it, or else you're not gonna be able to proceed at the same level or in the same way that you desire, okay? To end this reading off on a light note, the bottom card of this deck, Gemini, we have the 9 of Cups. The bottom card, maybe what we're not seeing or what we're afraid of not coming true. 9 of Cups, the Pip Cup, the dreams coming true, all the opportunity, all the choice, all the accomplishments, your work being showcased, speaking for itself. You have so much to celebrate. You're not missing out on anything by taking a moment to pause, taking a moment to tune in with your emotions, taking time to reevaluate your relationships and your relationship, most importantly, with yourself. All that success and opportunity is waiting for you. You're not missing out by taking time just to sit with everything. The eclipses are going to be intense. Either way, you can use them to your advantage, or you can let them use you. Think about it, okay? Beautiful. So that is my general reading for this Taurus season. If this reading resonated, you want to say thank you. All tips and donations are greatly appreciated. I'll link our PayPal in the description of this video. If you want to dive further into these themes with a one-on-one reading, all my availability for booking can be found on our website for tarot, astrology, and coaching, or past life regression, if that's speaking to you as well. And please feel free to tag and share a fellow Gemini into this reading if you think that they could also benefit from the message, okay? Thank you all for watching. Have a beautiful Taurus season. Enjoy the lessons that you shall learn with the eclipses. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye.